Okay, engine stop. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
Waits him at the end of each trip. It's a thriving congregation of more than 100 believers where Christianity is fiercely opposed. And when I share
is that many of them being discouraged from even asserting their rights to a religious exemption, which they absolutely have. What we're doing is we're trying to help them get through the process by giving them resources, helping them to articulate their religious beliefs, and helping them to identify the path to getting that exemption where possible. Many of these service members, as you pointed out, are already up against.
they're known lying liars who continue to lie and are not going to stop lying. So there's that. We'll dig into that. Today, Taliban fighters gleefully paraded all of, that captured American equipment and vehicles. Joe Biden's flawless evacuation from Afghanistan. And you know, you look at it from the Taliban's perspective, you almost couldn't have taken a war that we...
Your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier around your home's title. The instant they detect tampering, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, guard it with your life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you're already a victim. And enter radio for 30 days of free protection. That is code radio at HometitleLock.com.
Coming up, your faster commute from the GulfCoastWindows.com Traffic Center. Coffee and Halloween candy. Super busy this morning. Let's check your freeway. They're not super busy.
281-558-573. That would be KZB. Let's go to Robert listening in Pearland. Robert, thank you for hanging on. Welcome to the voice of Texas.
Thanks, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Robert, go right ahead.
Wonderful. This is Pearland.
If so, we can fix it. 832-515-3581. This is Mike Albert with Noble Foundation Repair.
Well, he isn't concerned until he needs to be.
We certainly are aware of the new variant
that we find in the Bible. This is for liberty and blessing and strength.
Can't make up their mind what they're doing.
On the side now, and looks like they're getting flats from left is. So I would do the inside lanes. Normally I tell you to stay on the left lanes, but let's do the inside lanes to get around this now. And hey, by the way, when you call, tell me who you are, where you're from. Even if you're mad at me, let me know. I'm Sky Mike in the GulfCoastWindows.com 24-hour traffic center. What time is it? Oh, it's 6:11. Central Daylight Savings Time, 5:11 Central Standard. Here we go again. KTRH Top Tax Defenders 24-hour Weather Center forecast. We're talking about time. We'll be talking about time. We got to remind you.
Don't forget to say before you go to bed.
Who forgets?
Nobody.
How many people actually forget, right?
So I would do the inside lanes. Normally I tell you to stay on the left lanes, but let's do the inside lanes to get around this now. And hey, by the way, when you call, tell me who you are, where you're from. Even if you're mad at me, let me know. I'm Sky Mike in the GulfCoastWindows.com 24-hour traffic center. What time is it? Oh, it's 6:11 Central Daylight Savings Time, 5:11 Central Standard. Here we go again. KTRH Top Tax Defenders 24-hour Weather Center forecast. We're talking about time. We'll be talking about time. We got to remind you.
Don't forget to say before you go to bed.
Who forgets?
Nobody.
How many people actually forget, right?
Now they're villains and they're being fired from their jobs because they won't get a shot, and many of them already have natural immunity because they were exposed to this and they had COVID.
Well, and this should be exit right to exit 135 for I-610 West, I-610 East.
All the time. Get on Google and talk to your
strategies that can help protect your wealth and plan your income. Register for free at EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. Your wealth and ultimately your legacy face 3 risks.
Flu so-called vaccines. Novavax launching a study in Australia. More than 600 healthy adults, at least for now. They'll be between the ages of 50 and 70.
Across the bow with Southwest pilots and air traffic controllers walking off. You're going to be fired if you don't get the jab. All right, we'll just all walk off at the same time. And if thousands of employees start doing that in business, but once again, I'm sorry, I cannot take you seriously when you tell me we're in a pandemic.
Jobs.com. At UPS warehouse workers, you can build a career to be proud of with a team that has your back. UPS is hiring now. Apply at upsjobs.com/shift. Make the shift, make a difference. For WBAP News, I'm meteorologist Scott Laurie. More at the Weather Channel.
This news brought to you by the law offices of Nick Namath. Local leaders.
Time to start thinking about that outdoor kitchen. Gas Product Services can help you design and build that new one or improve or repair that old.
And things going on. Thanks for the call, Robin. I appreciate it. Tell you what, you want to get another quick one here before we have to break, Ben?
Have at it.
Let's do it. Let's go to Don listening in Manville. Hey, Don, thanks for hanging on. Welcome to the Amigos.
Hey, Chris, thanks for taking my call.
I'm Andy Robb.
Got a question or comment for the Amigos? Call now. 281-558-5738. That's 281-558-KSEV.
Texas. The bidding involved about all this, ABIDIAN. Check out the Money Hour Show at 12 noon here on AM 950 KVRC, and do sign up for the free weekly newsletter at AvidianWealth.com.
In 2020, Texas employers showed amazing resourcefulness in the face of unprecedented challenges. You took care of your people and your business. It wasn't easy. It never is. But you did it by asking one question. What do I need to do today to get to a better tomorrow? That's resilience.
At crossroads in this country today, and we are watching an all-out assault on the Constitution of the United States. This is absolutely treasonous. You said it. I mean, you're aiding and abetting a known enemy.
Suspects of remote locations and don't have immediate backup. Rob Dawson, Fox News.
Stocks closed lower Tuesday as retail sales fell at a much greater rate than Wall Street analysts had predicted. The Dow dropped 282 points, the Nasdaq lost 138, and the S&P 500 was up.
Last year and a half, we've leveled off a little bit at this point, and the ones that have survived have figured out ways to keep going and to adapt and to adjust, but it's been extraordinarily difficult. And there are many that are still, even after all this time, that are just hanging on and trying to survive.
Can you as an industry stand up to this, or do you just have to meekly follow whatever OSHA wants to do? And I mean, are we going to have OSHA armies coming in and shutting down restaurants?
Well, you never know until you see what the rules really are. But fortunately, the restaurant industry is the second largest private employer in the U.S., and there is a fair amount of input and influence that the industry has as a whole, on politics and nationally. But the
right of people to own property, because they're dictating that you can't actually use your property for rental because you don't get any rental payments. He's also told you about
up to Gary, because I'm talking to Gary Black Knight, our producer extraordinaire. You've got to come up with better music than Chris X when that crap Chris X normally plays. Okay? Now, Jane died even after getting the shots. Now, if you look at initially, there were people died, but not the percentage. A lot of people still had the immune system to be able to fend off Republicans who might replace them in office. So
They are the only terrorists there are. Those with the potential to threaten their power in office. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right on. Don't ask these guys anymore. Donald Trump was a guest on one of the shows. He called in. And just listen to the difference between that interview I played with President Biden just yesterday compared to Donald Trump yesterday on Newsmax. It is a guy who was on top of it, a guy who did a great job while he was in the office, while every facet of their propaganda.
The 47th Texas Renaissance Festival. Weekends in October and November. Deliciously enticing food. Games of skill and chance, plus the finest act, merriment, magic, and romance. Get discount tickets online at TexRenFest.com. Opens October.
Do you realize that clean, efficient home comfort is at your fingertips? Click on AmericanStandardAir.com.
Okay, that's good. Hey, I was just reading the last several days, that there was in New Mexico, there is a senator who refused to mute by a new priest, I think, or the bishop that's in this new area. And first he said because of my political affiliation, which is a lie, because it's a pro-abortion stand. And then he was saying, well, God is so compassionate, there was some stuff, this is how the left uses God, okay?
Got the girlfriend. Notebook believed to belong to laundry were discovered Wednesday in a Florida wilderness park, according to the FBI. The area where they were found had been underwater during earlier searches. The FBI's Denver office sent in a news release that a comparison of dental records confirmed that the remains were laundered.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question. Peter Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, 100% drug-free ingredients that each help your body deal with inflammation. Order the 3-week quick start now. Discounted to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. Call 800-500-8384. ReliefFactor.com.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain, whether you're vaccinated or not, you need an app, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Power 6 times, and in 5 of those cases, the courts have overturned the rules, and the courts will probably stop this one from being implemented as well. It's highly likely that in 3 months there will be no federal vaccine mandates in force other than for federal workers and contractors. The private employers who fired workers who refused vaccination should reconsider their policy, because while most Americans think it's a good idea to get vaccinated, they don't believe someone should lose their job if they don't. Can they still do it? Probably. Case law is on their side. Should they do it?
Thunderbolt motors and transmission. Thunderbolt's been rebuilding and supercharging engines.
After all that sympathy we had for restaurants that closed down, this one owner would do this?
Yep, you know she would. There's how much she believes in the cause. 542, time for traffic and weather together. Let's check in at 7. Very just when we think it's safe to do the Southwest Freeway.
The only thing we can do is an election, I guess.
So look, the Senate could do a great deal, but we're not going to, because there's not a single Democrat who is willing to work with us to secure the border. Every Democrat, today's Democrats have decided they're the party of open borders. Laura, I got to tell you, the last few weeks, I traveled all along South Texas, so not just Del Rio, I was in Uvalde, I was in Laredo.
The leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com. After all that sympathy we had for restaurants that closed down, this one owner would do this?
Yep, you know she would. There's how much she believes in the cause. 542, time for traffic and weather together. Let's check in the skyline. All right, just when we think it's safe to do the Southwest Freeway.
The only thing we can do is an election, I guess.
So look, the Senate could do a great deal, but we're not going to because there's not a single Democrat who is willing to work with us to secure the border. Every Democrat, today's Democrats have decided they're the party of open borders. Laura, I got to tell you, the last few weeks I traveled all along South Texas, so not just Del Rio. I was in Uvalde, I was in Laredo.
This runs directly counter to the idea of Asadilla, which is about pure.
We've been helping homeowners throughout the Gulf Coast region for over 30 years. At Noble Foundation Repair, we use the original color file system that comes with a lifetime transferable warranty. Call me at 832-515.
Into the first hour yesterday at 4:30, I spoke with Tracy Beans, and we can among Democrats. It's all right. So there's that. As far as what was going on in Arizona, we actually covered that yesterday on the program. I guess when you get home, if you want, go log on to kstvradio.com, go to the podcasts, and then click on Chris X and listen to the first hour yesterday. At 4:30, I spoke with Tracy Beans, and we covered a lot.
Vaccinated who end up in hospitals. Biden tried to justify his mandate by claiming falsely that hospitals don't have room for the other patients. And back when the pandemic started, he'd be right. But Rand Paul and Ted Cruz should be taken out back and shot with the vaccines, of course.
There's absolutely no telling. And yeah, there you go. I mean, that's pretty interesting stuff. Who knows? And when you're dealing with something that is so politicized that the World Health Order, and yes, I call them the order, is, once again, they skipped naming the COVID variant Xi in order to, well, they don't want to offend, Chinese. So he's not really going to do that. So is he going to run as a libertarian or an independent? None of it really was working out. And once again, I think this is what a lot of these, celebrities kind of do. They're playing with it. It's good coverage. And as we were talking here right before we went on the air, well, they set our booth up in a great spot. I got a view of the Capitol, Union Station. This is fantastic.
Weather's great, low humidity. It worked out better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, same here. I had no idea what to expect being outdoors, but the weather's great. And
virtual urgent care is available on your phone. And with online check-in, anywhere can be your waiting room. So everything can happen on your schedule. Download the Houston Methodist app today and explore schools.
As of 1 a.m., lawmakers were still hearing testimony on transgender high school athletes. Earlier was a bill banning critical race theory that dominated the discussion. Cy-Fair ISD Paradonna Stallone testified in favor of the ban.
This is the time in which we can exit right to exit 46B, State Highway 288 south toward Lake Jackson.
Agents on horses now because the mainstream media was able to get in and pretend that they were whipping people, which they weren't. So there you go. There's the propaganda apparatus running interference for Democrats, and that's what they do.
Radio now, 281-558, KSEV.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Can you believe it's been over a quarter of a century that you have helped provide Christmas for thousands upon thousands of children with disabilities in the Be an Angel Christmas program? Go to beanangel.org today